Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, that turns pocket change into potential gold mines. Today, we're talking about a coin that looks small, but has an incredibly big story behind it. It's one of the most iconic coins in American history, and if you have the right version of it, well, let's just say it might be worth way more than you ever imagined. That we're diving into the world of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a humble copper coin that might just be hiding a jaw-dropping secret. Some of these pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and one particular example shocked collectors when it hit the auction block. So, stick with me until the very end, where we'll reveal just how much that little coin ended up being worth. Now let's take a step back to the year 1942. The world was at war. The United States had just entered World War II, and the nation was shifting its industries toward wartime production. Everything, from rubber to metal, was being rationed or redirected to support the war effort. And in the middle of it all, the U.S. Mint was still pressing out Lincoln wheat cents, using primarily copper and zinc alloyed. At first glance, the 1942 penny doesn't look all that different from other wheat pennies. On the obverse, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," above him, "Liberty," to the left, and the year 1942 stamped clearly beneath. On the reverse side, the words, 1 cent and United States of America, are framed by two wheat stalks, hence the name, Wheat Penny. But here's where things get really interesting. The 1942 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a small d below the date; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. Tens of millions of these were produced. So why are some of them worth a fortune? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Let's start with condition. Most 1942 pennies were used in everyday commerce. They passed from pocket to pocket, lost their shine, picked up scratches, and wore down over time. Finding a 1942 wheat penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, with sharp details, no discoloration, and full luster, is already rare enough to raise eyebrows among collectors. But what really launches these pennies into the stratosphere are the errors, the mistakes made during the minting process that weren't caught before the coins were released. One of the most valuable types is the 1942 double die obverse. This happens when the coin's design is stamped twice slightly out of alignment, creating a subtle doubling effect on the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's profile. You'll want to look closely at "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If you see clear doubling there, you might just have struck gold. Another rare and fascinating variety is the 1942 transitional error. Because of the war, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with steel planchets for the 1943 pennies. But some leftover bronze planchets from 1942 were accidentally used in early 1943. These wrong metal strikes are now among the most famous error coins in U.S. history. Flip that. If a 1942 penny was accidentally struck on a steel planchet, it would be even rarer, and worth serious money. To check, try the magnet test. If your 1942 penny sticks to a magnet, you're in strange and valuable territory. There are also off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and lamination errors that can add thousands of dollars to a coin's value. Even small die cracks or unusual planchet flaws can catch a collector's eye, especially if the coin is in mint state condition, graded MS 65 or higher. So how do collectors verify the value? You'll want to get the coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate the coin, identify any rare errors, and assign a grade that can significantly influence the value at auction. Speaking of auctions, let's talk about the numbers. A 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with a major mint error, in nearly perfect condition, recently went to auction at one of the major U.S. coin houses. It was preserved for decades, with almost no visible wear, and had a double die that was crisp and dramatic. Collectors knew this wasn't just a rare coin, it was a once-in-a-generation find. The bidding started high and only went higher. People from across the country, and even overseas, were throwing their hats into the ring. And when the final gavel struck, the room fell silent. The final price, that single 1942 Lincoln wheat penny, sold for an astounding $67,000. Yes, you heard that right, $67,000. For a 1-cent coin. So now the big question is, do you have one? Check your old coin jars, family coin albums, or even that pile of pennies you've been meaning to roll up. Look for the mint marks. Examine the date closely. Get a magnifier and check for doubling or unusual features. We're not saying every 1942 penny is a jackpot, but one of them could be. If you think you found something special, or if you're unsure and want help evaluating your coin, drop us a comment below. We love hearing from fellow collectors, and who knows, your coin might be featured in our next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on stories like this one. We've got plenty more rare coin discoveries, price updates, and historical deep dives coming your way. Today, we're unwrapping one of the most captivating pieces of American numismatic history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1939, complete with its mint mark. This small coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but if you're a collector or just love digging into history, listen closely, because the story behind this penny is anything but common. The 1939 Lincoln wheat penny is a fascinating artifact from a time when America was on the cusp of great change. This penny features the beloved portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the iconic wheat ears framing the words, 1 cent, on the reverse, a design used for over 3 decades, symbolizing prosperity and hope during challenging times. Now, millions of these pennies were minted in 1939 across 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While most circulated widely and ended up in piggy banks and pockets, some survived in exceptional condition, and those are the ones collectors are hunting for. What makes the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny truly valuable isn't just its age or the mint mark, it's the rarity of certain errors and unique features that appeared during production. For example, some 1939 pennies show what collectors call a double die error, a doubling of the date or lettering that occurs when the coin is struck twice with slightly misaligned dies. Spotting this requires a keen eye or a magnifying glass. Look carefully at the 1939 date or the word Liberty. If you notice a shadow or duplication, you could have a rare double die penny on your hands. Another fascinating variation to watch for is the repunched mint mark, especially on the Denver and San Francisco issues. This happens when the mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating a ghost-like second impression. These repunched mint marks are a favorite among error coin collectors because they tell a story about the minting process and can significantly increase the coin's value. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin's design isn't perfectly centered on the blank planchet, and die cracks, thin lines or fissures that appear on the coin due to worn or damaged dies. While these might sound like imperfections, for collectors they are gold mines, since these errors can elevate the coin's rarity and desirability. Condition plays a massive role too. Most 1939 pennies show wear from decades of circulation. But if you find one that's been preserved with crisp details, sharp edges, and a lustrous surface, graded as mint state by professional services, you're holding a very special piece indeed. Speaking of professional grading, coin experts from PCGS and NGC regularly authenticate and grade these pennies, helping buyers and sellers understand true market value. And let me tell you, recent auctions have demonstrated just how hot the 1939 wheat penny has become. In fact, a pristine 1939 Lincoln wheat penny with a rare mint mark and an unusual double die error recently sold for a staggering price at auction, turning heads in the coin community and reminding us all that even the smallest coin can carry immense value. So what's the bottom line for collectors and enthusiasts? If you have a 1939 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with a D or S mint mark, take a close look. Check for doubling on the date or lettering, inspect the mint mark for any signs of repunching, and assess the coin's condition. These details could turn an everyday penny into a priceless treasure. Have you ever found a 1939 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection or change? Or maybe you have questions about spotting these errors? Drop a comment below. We love hearing your stories and helping you identify hidden gems. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American coins to uncover the secrets of the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1940, complete with its mint mark. This small, humble penny might look like everyday change, but trust me, it hides some incredible stories and surprises that can make it worth far more than you ever imagined. So, grab your magnifying glass and listen up, because this video is packed with valuable info that every coin enthusiast needs to hear. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a classic piece from a time when the world was on the brink of major upheaval, and the United States was gearing up for transformative years ahead. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic wheat ears on the back, this coin was produced in 3 mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While millions were minted and circulated, it's the rare details and errors that make some of these pennies true collector's treasures. So what exactly makes the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? First, let's talk about errors, and trust me, they're fascinating. One of the most sought-after features is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by misaligned dies, causing a distinct doubling effect on the date or letters, particularly noticeable on the 1940 date or the word Liberty. Identifying this error requires a sharp eye or a magnifier. If you spot that doubling effect, congratulations, you might have a rare double die penny that's highly prized by collectors. Another important feature to watch for is the repunched mint mark. This happens when the mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, was stamped more than once on the coin in slightly different positions. This creates a ghostly second impression that's subtle but unmistakable once you know what to look for. These repunched mint marks add a layer of rarity and excitement for collectors because they reveal the quirks and challenges of the minting process. Aside from these errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. Most 1940 pennies have been handled, circulated, and worn down over the decades. But if you find one in outstanding condition, sharp details, clean surfaces, and a nice original luster, you're looking at a potential jackpot. Coins graded as mint state or near perfect by reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch much higher prices in the market. In recent years, there have been some exciting auctions featuring 1940 Lincoln Wheat pennies with these rare errors and excellent grades. These coins have sold for impressive sums, proving that even a seemingly modest penny from 1940 can become a prized collector's piece with the right characteristics. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark? First, inspect it closely with good lighting and a magnifier. Look for any doubling on the date or lettering, examine the mint mark carefully for repunching, and assess its overall condition. Getting it professionally graded can be a smart move to verify authenticity and condition, which can significantly boost its value if you decide to sell. Have you ever come across a 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny with unique features? Or maybe you're curious about other coins in your collection? Share your experiences and questions in the comments below. We love hearing your stories and helping each other spot hidden treasures. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of American numismatics with a spotlight on the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1947, complete with its mint mark. This small coin carries a rich history, and believe it or not, it holds some truly remarkable features that can make it incredibly valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just love discovering hidden gems, listen closely because this coin has a story you don't want to miss. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a period of post-war recovery and growth in America. Featuring the timeless image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic wheat ears on the back, this penny represents a piece of history from a nation rebuilding and moving forward. It was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While millions were produced, some of these pennies stand out for very specific reasons. So, what makes the 1947 penny so special? The answer lies in rarity, errors, and condition. One of the most intriguing aspects to look for is the double die error, a phenomenon where the coin's design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. This doubling often shows up on the date or lettering and is highly sought after by collectors. To spot it, examine the 1947 date or the word Liberty carefully under magnification. If you see a shadow or doubling effect, you could have a rare double die penny in your hands. Another rare and exciting feature to watch for is the repunched mint mark. This occurs when the mint mark, usually the D or S, was stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a ghost-like second image. These repunched mint marks reveal the quirks of the minting process and are prized because they're unique anomalies that stand out from standard issues. Condition is another key factor that dramatically affects a penny's value. Most 1947 pennies have circulated for decades, leading to wear and tear. But if you come across one that's been well preserved, with crisp details and original luster, it can be worth a fortune. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, providing collectors with a trusted standard of quality that helps establish value in the marketplace. In recent years, 1947 Lincoln wheat pennies exhibiting these rare errors and in superior condition have fetched remarkable sums at auction, proving their status as prized collectibles. These sales highlight the demand and excitement surrounding what may initially seem like an ordinary penny. If you own a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark, take some time to inspect it closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to look for any doubling on the date or letters, and examine the mint mark for signs of repunching. And don't forget to evaluate its overall condition. This can make all the difference. Have you ever discovered a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with unusual features? Or perhaps you're curious about how to spot these errors yourself? Drop your questions or stories in the comments below. Sharing knowledge is what makes this community so awesome. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a fascinating piece of American history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1957, complete with its mint mark. At first glance, it might look like just another penny, but if you're a true coin enthusiast, you'll want to pay close attention. This little copper coin hides some rare features and interesting errors that can skyrocket its value. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just discover a hidden treasure in your own collection. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in a time when the United States was enjoying a post-war economic boom. These pennies, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While millions were produced, collectors are especially interested in the ones with unique errors or outstanding condition that make them stand out. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1957 penny is the double die error. This error happens when the coin's design is struck twice, but slightly misaligned, creating a doubled appearance on the date or on the word Liberty. This doubling is often subtle and requires a magnifying glass or loupe to see clearly. If you spot this doubling, you may have one of the most sought-after errors for this year's penny, and these coins can command impressive prices among collectors. Another rare and highly collectible feature to look for is the repunched mint mark. This occurs when the mint mark, especially the D from Denver, was stamped more than once in different positions. The result is a shadow-like or ghost mint mark that adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin. These repunched mint marks are prized because they reveal the human side of coin production, the small mistakes that make each coin truly one of a kind. Condition also plays a huge role in determining the value of a 1957 penny. While many coins were circulated and show signs of wear, those that have been well preserved, with sharp details and an original, unblemished finish, can be worth a lot more. Professional grading by trusted services like PCGS or NGC can help verify the coin's condition and authenticity, making it easier to sell or trade at top prices. In recent years, 1957 Lincoln wheat pennies with these rare features and in excellent condition have turned heads at auctions. Some have sold for prices that might surprise you, proving that even a penny from 1957 can be a serious investment if you have the right coin. If you think you might own a 1957 penny with a mint mark, take a moment to examine it carefully. Use a magnifier to look for any doubling on the date or letters, and inspect the mint mark closely for any signs of doubling or repunching. Also, check the coin's condition. The better preserved, the more valuable. Have you ever come across a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with unusual details or errors? Or maybe you're curious about other coins in your collection? Drop your stories and questions in the comments below. We love hearing about your finds and helping each other learn more about these incredible coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest coin discoveries. And remember, that seemingly ordinary 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark and rare errors could be worth a staggering $68,000. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.